Hello guys, welcome to this Bootstrap session. Actually, in this session, especially I'm just gonna cover about what is Bootstrap, because there are quite a number of people who's asking me about what is Bootstrap, and there are so many tutorials made about Bootstrap, and people can get to know about it. But this is just a getting started section. I'm just gonna cover what is there in the getting started section just as it is. But before going to that, I'm just gonna cover about what is Bootstrap first of all. I'll tell you when I started to develop or work with Bootstrap. Actually, I am not a person who is so much familiar with CSS, but I want to develop an application. Without writing much CSS, I want to develop an application. Then that day, I got to know about a Bootstrap and I started to use it. So simply in plain words, Bootstrap is a simple CSS framework. You might hear about so many different frameworks, right? For example, JavaScript have a framework, and Java has a framework. Ruby on Rails Ruby have a framework. Ruby on Rails, something like that, to make the developer job easier. Who even doesn't know CSS? That's what Bootstrap is all about. Bootstrap is not only the CSS framework which is available in the market. There are so many other frameworks also around and there in the market. One among them is Bootstrap, and one another thing which is quite popular is Foundation. In this, we just gonna see only about Bootstrap. So the first thing first, what I have to go to is you have to go to the Bootstrap website first of all, getbootstrap.com, and you can just, once you got it, you can just read the description of what is Bootstrap. Bootstrap is the most popular HTML CSS JS framework for the developing a responsive mobile first application on the web. So it also provides a responsive designing for the web application. So even you can see the website itself is developed using Bootstrap. So if you minimize it beyond certain width, then it automatically getting adjusted. You can just see this beautifully, and everything will be wrapped like this. Okay, so we will see what is Bootstrap and what are the features of it in the upcoming session. But the first we will download or try to include this in our HTML file. Okay, so now I'll click on the download. I'll try to download the page, the CF file. Okay, so if you want to know more about it, you can go to the getting started section. So here the download is there, and over here Bootstrap how to download, use basic templates. So you can download, or if you don't want to download, you can just include this two things in the head, because these two are style sheets. One is the Bootstrap CSS file, and one of is the theme file, and the next thing is the JavaScript file which is required for Bootstrap. If you included this, then you'll be able to use Bootstrap in your website. So either you can download this compiled version, it will have only this, or else you can download the source code version. The difference between this and this is that, first of all, this will only download the CSS and the JavaScript files, the minified and unminified one both, and along with that it will also download the fonts, the glyphicons which is used. So okay, the icon sets also shipped with Bootstrap, so you can use that. When you download the source code, the advantage what you would have is you will have a list of examples and docs. Okay, because Bootstrap's also shipped with a list of basic templates. You can just use a starter template, Bootstrap template, something like that. So you can make use of that as well. So I wanna use the Bootstrap in my website first. So I'm just gonna copy this thing and I'm just gonna use it. So first I told you I'm just gonna download the Bootstrap file. So I'm just gonna download the Bootstrap file and I'm just gonna put it inside my project. Okay, so I'm just downloading the file. In between I'll just try to create a project. Okay, so I'll try to create a project. Okay, I'll try to create in my project. I already have something in this, but I'll not use this. I'll create one more folder in the same directory, which I will call it as an Bootian. boolean. Okay, so I'll try to drag this folder inside my Sublime text. I know rid of this. I'll remove this for now. Okay, so I have this file. I'm going to create an index.html file. Before that, I'll go to my downloads. I'll try to copy that my downloaded file. So this is my Bootstrap. That is the Bootstrap. Okay, so Bootstrap 3.3.6.test. If I already unzipped it and it is over there. No, sorry, it's a different one. So let us copy this folder, and I'll go to my project folder. I kept everything inside my folder, so I'll go here, I'll copy this, I'll paste it here. Just unzip the file now here. Okay, I'll delete this file, and here I have this file, so I'll just copy this, I'll put it outside, and I'll delete this directory also. So if you go to the CSS file, you have the Bootstrap and minified one and minified one, Bootstrap theme file, minified one and minified one. Generally we will use this CSS file only, any one of this. This will be used for production purpose, this will be used for non-production purpose. And similar, the same applicable to JS file also. Two files are there, then we know not of this npm file. So I'm just deleting it, and we have the font icons. You have to keep the font icons in the same place as where the CSS lies at. Okay, so I'll refresh this once. View, refresh. Okay, once again I'll drag it back otherwise because the directories are not updated. So I'll drag it again back to the system. So once I got it, so I'm gonna create one more file called index.html because that is our main file, right? So I'll just create this file. Okay, if you create it, now what you can do is, now you can go here, now you can just copy paste the basic template which we had here. So I'm just copying this, I'm just putting it here, and I'm just trying to open this in my browser. So what happened, something came here, but I want to check whether my Bootstrap seriously works or not. Okay, it requires jQuery because Bootstrap minification file requires jQuery. Before moving to this, I just want to check whether my files are loaded properly. I'm just going to my console, I'm just checking whether I'm getting any errors. I'm not getting any errors, so probably the CSS should be loaded fine. If you have any doubts, you can just go to the network tab. Let's just refresh it once again. So it downloaded the minification file, it downloaded the CSS file, minified CSS file, JS file, index.html and jQuery file. So everything got completed. You can check it by clicking like this. Okay, so everything got loaded. But what is in this? So nothing is there. I just want to put up a navigation bar, for example. So first thing first, what I have to understand first of all about any framework is, any framework, whatever the framework it is, whatever the language it is. First, any developer should try to understand how the document is written or it is structured. Okay, so first we should know that. Now if you see this specific getting started section, they just told about how to download, what are the included and compile CSS and JavaScript, basic template and examples. They have tools, community, and migrating from 2x to 3x. So those basic things first of all they mentioned in this. If you go to the CSS section, they would mention about the fundamental components which used in this. So, but if you want to know about the components, for example, okay, I want to know about navigation bar. So straight away I'll go to the nav bar. I'll go here. I want the navigation bar like this. I want to mention my project name and my list of links, and if I want to mention anything in the menu, I want to mention something. So first I want to copy this, and I want to check whether my navigation seriously works. I just copying this as it is, and then just trying to put it inside the body. Okay, so I just align it a little bit. Okay, so there you go. So you got the beautiful menu like this. Now we will try to go inside this. What is seriously we copied inside here? Okay, if you go here, if you check it, they mentioned a nav tag which is there in HTML, but it is not doing any magic. It's just like a div component. It is just for our naming convention. They kept it like that in HTML5. But the main thing happens when we declared this class called navbar default, and when we are defining the container fluid, it is trying to occupy the full container, and we have the navbar header. Inside that we kept this brand. And the one more thing by default which comes with Bootstrap is that the responsiveness. So when you minimized using media queries, they achieved it. When you minimize like this, you'll get this icon bar. That's what mentioned in this. So if you check this in the navbar header, not only this is there, we also have a button wrapper. This is the one, icon bar, icon bar, icon bar. Thrice it is repeated, right? So this is what that is. If you repeat it 2 more times, then you will get some 5 icon bar. Okay, something like this. But you don't want that. You don't need that. So that is to just explain what is this div header is all about. And the next section is we kept dev collapse, navbar collapse. So next we have navbar default. After that we have navbar nav. So it is an unordered list. So in list item we kept the list of links. Okay. In this, the one thing which I don't want is I don't want this inline form which we mentioned here. So I'm just gonna remove this. Okay, I removed it, and I'm just maximizing this. I'm just refreshing. So I got this. I'll change my project name once. I wanna change my project name. So I'll just give here. Okay. Okay. And one more thing which I wanna change is I just want this change this name of the title. Okay, and one more thing is I just want the color to be changed. There are 2 classes in navbar. One, if you can go to the navigation section again, that's documentation section. So they might child default navbar, brand image, and you can check inverted navbar. You can give inverse. Okay, so once you give an inverse, and if you try to refresh the application, you'll get it a black color. Okay, so white inverse is black. That's how they kept it. So you can just see this, the beautiful thing in here. So now I wanna, if you wanna change some links, for example, I don't want this to be called as I wanna call this home, and I wanna call this an about, for example. Okay, then I'm just refreshing this, and I want to call this a settings. Okay, if you refresh this, then you got the beautiful menu, and we need this thing. Okay, we have one unordered list, and we have one more unordered list, which is also a navbar. If you see, both of this class are same, but this is left aligned, this is right aligned. This is right aligned because of this, because we mentioned a class called navbar, right? So if you want something to be available on the right side, you can mention it. Or if you don't want, like me in this application, I don't want this, so I just want to save this and I want to refresh. So that's it. So I got my beautiful menu, and that's it. So now I mentioned everything, and we got the beautiful menu. And one more thing, if you want this to be aligned center, you can just wrap it in a div, but I want to wrap this inside a container. Container is a default class in Bootstrap. We can get to know about by referring the documentation. Container. Okay, so it is wrapped inside the container. Now you want this to be aligned center, means you can just define an inline style, or you can just define a class name and you can define. So I'm just doing an inline. So I'm just going to define text align center for this. Okay, So it's got align center. I hope whatever we progress as of now, you got some idea. I'll just do a recap of this. What we done is we created a new project called Bootian, and we downloaded the Bootstrap CSS and JavaScript file. So we went to the Bootstrap website, and you can go to the download Bootstrap web section. In the download Bootstrap section, you can find this 2-3 sections. You can either use Css, or you can use download the source code section, or you can download Bootstrap. I preferred Bootstrap. I downloaded the Bootstrap. Either you can download it, or you can use the CDN also. But I prefer to download because I don't want to be loaded from somewhere. It might be slow comparatively. So I just downloaded and I unzipped the folder. I got 3 folders basically. I got CSS, fonts, and JS, and I created one more file called index.html file. What I done is I just went here. I copied the basic template file from there. I just copy pasted. Once I done that, I want to use the Bootstrap because this has to have only an h1 tag. So what I done is I just went here to the up section. I want to include a component which is called navigation bar. So I went to the nav bar. Once I went to the nav bar, I just copied the nav bar section, but I want a nav bar like this. So I just copied, and I just explained what is the CSS all about. All these CSS classes are bootstraps, so you can just use that. And I just renamed a couple of links names, and I just given a container, and I just given hello world. There are so many other components also available, like glyphicons. I'll just quickly explain about glyphicons. For example, in this we have a home, correct? So I want a home icon. So I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm just gonna include this icon in front of my menu. Okay, so I'm just gonna include this. Okay, once I copy it, I'm just leaving a little space for this, and I'm just gonna check whether whatever I included is works. So it works. Good. So I'll include the remaining 2 icons. When I call it as an about, I'll put a person symbol for that. Okay, and include a class attribute. Once you done that, leave a little space here. And we have settings icon. I'll put that also quickly. So I want this cog symbol for that, and I want to use that. So I'm just gonna copy paste, and I'm just gonna run. So if you see this, we got this beautiful menu with icons, and I want to put something for the Boolean as well. For Boolean, what we will put? I'll put this symbol, or else what we'll put. I'm searching for a good icon. Okay, let us put this cloud. Okay, it's a cloud app. Okay, so I'm just gonna put okay. If you want to increase the font for this, you can increase, because this is a vector icon only. So you can just inspect, you can just try to do something on that. So I'm just going here, I'm just clicking on this glyphicon. I'm gonna add something for this specific attribute alone. So I'm just gonna say font size is 50 pixel. So you can just see that, so it's too big for us. So 20 pixel. Doesn't make a big difference. 30 pixel. So we got it. So that's how we had to increase. So we can include 20 or 25 around. or else you can include the navigation bar size itself. Okay, so now we got to know how to use the couple of components in this. Now you can use any of these components. For example, I want to put up a panel quickly. I'll put up a panel on this. I want to put up a panel, so I'll search for panel. Okay, where is panel? Panel. Where is my panel? Okay, panel. I'll search for panel. So here I have panels. So I'm just going to the panel. I have a default panel, but I want a panel with a header. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this heading, panel, panel default, panel heading, panel title, and panel body. So I'm just gonna copy this div as it is. Okay, I'm just going here. I'm just gonna copy paste the same thing as it is inside this. Okay, I'm just gonna call this as a registration form. Registration form. Okay, let us try to refresh our application. Let us see what we are gonna get. Okay, so you got a form heading and you got the panel content. I want to put something inside the content. I'm gonna search for a form now. Okay, I'm gonna search for a form. Forms. Do I have forms? Okay, so I have a form like this. I have a form like this. But I want a form, a big form. I want a big form. So I'm searching for form. Okay, otherwise we'll do one thing. We'll go to Bootstrap. Okay. We'll try to copy a snippet from Bootstrap for free. You can just grab any template. So I want to search for a form. So let's say form. Okay, I want a form like this. Okay, so I want to see the code. I'm just going to the HTML. I'm just going to copy this form as it is. I don't think nothing is there inside it. Okay, let us see. Okay, doesn't look good because there's nothing inside this thing. I want a good decent form, man. Come on. Copy this. Simple contact form is there. To include any CSS, background color, HTML. Okay, nothing needed. So I'll copy this, including this. So I want a form group. I want to put everything inside this. So inside a body, alignment is pretty much important when you are doing something like this. Okay, otherwise there is a high chance that you will get confused about this. Okay, I save this. I'm just trying to run now. So you got it. So you got a form name, subject, email, reach the limit. That's my form. I don't want this span now. Okay, but I don't like this the header color, so I want to change the color of it. So there isn't one thing called default. There isn't one thing called success, danger, primary, something like that. So you can just check it like this, primary. Once you done it, you can refresh it. You got this, and I want one more form, one more button in the bottom. I got a submit button. I want also a reset button. So you can just go here. You can just see about buttons in your docs. You can go here. You can go to buttons. Okay, you can go to the button drop down. So here you can see the button drop down, primary, success info, warning, danger. So there are different colors. So here they mention primary and they given pull right. That's why the button is pulled to the right. Otherwise it will not be pulled to the right. So if you don't want that to be happen, then you can just remove the pull right. So I want this to be resetted, right? So I want to call this danger. So if you refresh this now you got a form with submit form, and I want to rename this to reset. But I have a big form. I don't want this much big form actually. So what I can do is I can use Bootstrap grid layout for this. A container can contain will be containing 12 columns in this. So now you can just define I want to use it in a medium devices. So I'm just gonna mention call no. Before this I want a row. In a row can contain 12 columns. So I'm first of all defining a row. Inside the row I'm gonna define a column. Okay, so this is my column, but I'm not gonna occupy a 12 column. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste it like this, and I'm just gonna use only around 8. I'm gonna copy paste this code inside my column now. Okay, sorry, I didn't copy it fully. Okay, now if you try to refresh, now it will be like this. I want this to be center line. You can even mention offset for your component using Bootstrap. So I have defined offset. So I have to move and the center line. Now you got a registration form, the beautiful registration form. Now you can add your custom CSS on top of this. Whatever that you want to do, you can just do on top of this. But we not even wrote a single CSS. We don't have our own CSS file, but still we are able to write, able to bring up a beautiful navigation bar, a beautiful icons on this. You are able to create different color buttons on this. You're able to do this with very little time. In a very short time, you are able to start up with your projects. Okay, that's the beauty of Bootstrap, and I hope you like what Bootstrap provided. And stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. I'll develop more and more on Bootstrap and Angular and Node.js in the forthcoming days. Just if you have any queries or something, just leave a comment below and let me know if you need something. And you can just see my blog. So this is my new blog, and this is my YouTube channel, and whatever the code which I do here, I'll just upload it in this, so you can just refer this. Okay, hope you enjoyed the session. See you in the next session. Bye bye.